How many of you read The Little House on the Prairie books as a kid or have read them to your own kids? Well, I'm gonna really quick just tell you about in Little House in the Big Woods what Laura and her siblings got for Christmas. It was in each stocking a pair of bright red mittens, a long flat stick of red and white striped peppermint candy. And they were all so happy they could hardly speak at first. They just looked with shining eyes at those lovely Christmas presents. And Laura also got a rag doll, a beautiful rag doll. These children got a pair of mittens and a candy cane, and Laura got a rag doll, and they were so excited and happy with it. How far is that from kids these days? Could you imagine if your kids got those gifts? Most kids these days would be so upset. They would probably throw a fit. They'd be ungrateful. And I'm not saying that we need to go to that simple and minimalist for our kids. Obviously, that was a long time ago. This was before they had stores or the internet. They didn't have a means to go out and buy things, nor did they have the cash to buy things. So clearly, I'm not trying to say that's the goal and that's what we should do. But I'm trying to say that these kids that lived a long time ago, like Laura Ingalls and her siblings and other children like them, weren't used to getting a lot of stuff. They didn't have a lot of things. So when they got something, even if it was very simple, even a piece of candy was so special that it was exciting and they were so grateful. Most kids today get so much more than that and probably don't even have half the gratitude that they did. So I'm gonna share with you today what I got my 5 children for Christmas, my minimalist, budget-friendly, what I got my kids. And I wanna explain first kind of how I do my gifts and why I think it's so important to not go crazy with gift giving for our children. If you're not interested and want to just see what I got for my kids, I will do timestamps for each child and you can just skip ahead and see. But I just need to share what's on my heart because I have seen so many videos of parents spending so much money and getting so many things for their children. It makes me sad. Like it's wrong. Like I flat out believe it's wrong. And I've seen videos where someone doesn't get a ton of gifts for their kids and people in the comments are saying, what a terrible Christmas for your kids. I can't believe you only get them 3 or 4 gifts each. And it's ridiculous. Like that is just not okay. So I'm gonna share a couple of reasons why it is harmful to your children and harmful to you when you get them a ton of stuff. Now, the first reason is the money. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars on gifts for your children. And unless you have a lot of money and have no debt and are saving and are in a position where it's not going to be any kind of hardship, then spending more money is fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. But if you don't have the money and you are buying things on a credit card and you're going into debt for things, for gifts for your kids, like that's not good. You can buy your kids things without spending a lot of money. You can shop sales months in advance and save things. You can do what I do, which is a lot of thrift shopping. You can find great things at thrift stores. It doesn't have to be brand new. And you can re-gift things. It's another thing I do a lot, especially with my younger ones. But so the money is part of it. But the bigger thing, which I think is more harmful to our children, is when you get them a lot of stuff. And now how many of us parents have too much stuff? Like we personally know that I wish I didn't have so much stuff. My house has so many toys in it. It's always a mess. I can't keep up with it. Like most of us feel that to some extent or another. And yet a holiday comes around and we get so much more stuff into the house. And so like that's just like for our own mental peace and sanity, bringing so much new stuff and new toys into the house is not going to be helpful. But the bigger thing is kids, when they have tons of stuff, when they get a bunch of stuff at once especially, I mean, you see how they are when they just unwrap one and unwrap another and unwrap one. And for one, they often get like fatigued of opening gifts. And for two, they see one, oh, and then they bounce right to the next. And they don't fully appreciate the things they get because there's so much. And that's kind of something that's, for one, just the things they have in general. Most people, children and adults, I think have too much stuff, have too many things, and especially children and adults don't have a very good attention span because of the amount of stuff they have. And some of the attention span stuff is the type of stuff you have too, where building toys and imagination toys obviously increase your child's attention span much more than light up battery toys that you're not actually interacting with. You're just holding and watching or that kind of thing. But anyways, to wrap up what that point was, just the amount of stuff. I don't think it makes kids unappreciative, ungrateful, and it makes kids not have as good of attention span, and it just leads to more spoiled and entitled children. Our culture is full of entitled people. Think that I deserve this. Oh, that's all? Not anymore. Like you give them something and they're unhappy that it's not more. And if your children aren't happy unless they get a lot of gifts, that's a problem. And the only way to fix that problem isn't to get them more gifts. That is the opposite. That is going to exacerbate the problem. The way to fix it is to get them less, and for them to realize that they could have nothing. And I do that a lot with my kids just in general. If they're unhappy with the amount of something they have, whether it's food, oftentimes I think it's food, like a snack or a treat or something. Sometimes when they're playing and they're all playing with Legos together, or they're all playing something and so they have to share and they only get some, especially when they play with our magnetic building tiles, this happened to my younger ones, and they don't have enough. And so my go-to is, would you rather have nothing? Because if you're going to be unhappy with what you have, I'm going to take it away and you're going to have nothing. And that usually helps them realize that it's better to have something than nothing. So anyways, that was kind of my second reason. My third and final reason, and this is specifically for Christians, although it should be more important for Christians, I should say. For Christians, Christmas is not about us. Christmas shouldn't be about our children. Christmas shouldn't be about being spoiled and fun. Christmas is about remembering and celebrating Jesus. Now, the reason we give gifts is supposed to be because we love Jesus by loving others. We can't buy something special for Jesus and wrap it up and give it to him and have that be something that is going to please God. No, we give gifts to our loved ones. And so there's a reason for that. And I love gifts. I love giving gifts, and I do love getting gifts too. And so I'm not trying to say like, oh, we shouldn't do any gifts. No. But when you do so much gifts, it's obviously that's what kids are going to be excited for. And again, it's fine for kids to be excited about Christmas, and I get excited about Christmas and gifts, of course. But I don't want the focus to be that. I want my kids to realize, and I constantly reminding them of why we celebrate Christmas and what's important and this the reason of it. And it's not about gifts. We do that, yes, and it's fun. But the reason is it is a season to remember Jesus and his birth and be thankful for our Savior and to serve and love others. And I try to do that in general in the Christmas season. Usually we do the Operation Christmas Child shoe boxes. I forgot this year. I don't know what happened. I didn't forget. I remembered it earlier. I thought it was coming up to the date and we'd have to do it soon. I realized, oh, I still have several weeks. And then I forgot. And then I realized just a couple days after the deadline that, shoot, we missed it. Anyway, so I normally do that, but we forgot. We're going to go Christmas caroling to a senior care facility this year. I think that'll be a really special way just to give back to the community. And so doing things other than just spoiling them with gifts. And, you know, I'm going to share my gifts, and some of you might hate me. Some of you might think I'm a terrible mom. Some of you might think you're poor children. And if that's the case, you go right ahead. You're entitled to your opinion. But honestly, I think the poor children that get so much gifts that they're spoiled and ungrateful and selfish. Those are the sad children. Those are the sad parents who have to deal with that. So anyways, I could go on and on and on. I'd love to hear your comments. Like I said, if you disagree, that's fine. You can share your opinion. I would appreciate it if it's done respectfully or kindly, but it's okay if you have a different opinion than me. And if you come out hating me, I don't think I'm going to be offended because I feel very strongly about how I do. And I, like I said, don't want my kids to be spoiled and entitled. So without further ado, I'm going to share kind of how I do gifts basically is for each child, I get them one gift that's usually new, unless I can find it used, but kind of like the big gift. And the big gift is not very big. Most years I try to keep it to $25, $30, $35, $40 at the most, but typically I try to do more like $20 to $30 for the big gift. And other than that, I get them a few pieces of clothing that I get at thrift stores, so only spend a few dollars each there. And I usually get them a book. In the past, I've often gotten them maybe 2 books from a thrift store, which again, thrift store, very cheap. This year when I did my thrift shopping, they just didn't have as many kids books at the spot I went to that I expected to, so I just have 1 book for them each. It's possible that if I go thrift shopping again, I might add 1 more book so they each get 2, but not really expecting to. So anyways, I'm gonna start with my youngest and I'll work my way up. So my youngest is almost 2. So when I have babies and 1-year-olds and 2-year-olds, I tend to re-gift things that my other children have outgrown because I don't need to spend money bringing new things into the house for them. So first off, I have this little set of stacking blocks. So there's 5 of them. This was a gift that my mom got for my now 3.5-year-old daughter for her first birthday. And I'm sorry, I have my monitor on in here. My youngest is napping. Well, he's supposed to be napping. Actually, that's my daughter in the bathroom yelling, I'm all done. Hold on. Okay, my daughter was in the bathroom yelling, waiting to be wiped. I'm back. Anyways, as I was saying, these were a first birthday gift to my daughter. She played with them and loved them, had them for quite a while. And then probably when she was maybe 2.5 or close to 3, I put them away thinking that these would be a good one to save for a gift. And yeah, so there you go. Regifting, saving money, $0 spent. And the other gift, I actually, for my youngest one, since that's a pretty small little thing, I do have 2 things for him as his main gifts. And the other one is also a regifting that one of my, I'm not even sure if this was my oldest or my second oldest, but they were going through stuffed animals. I had them get rid of a few, and he purposely chose this one as something that he could give to his youngest. And so I'm not actually sure if I'm gonna have this be, I mean, my youngest won't understand either way, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm not really gonna sure if I'm gonna try to say this is like a gift from my other son or if it's just a gift from me and Dad. But a little jelly cat stuffed animal, because he only has 1 stuffed animal, and so it'd be fun for him to have a second one. So those are his main gifts. And then his book that I got is this little pop-up surprise, Winter in the Forest. And I believe this was $1. I went to the thrift store on a half-off day for Black Friday, actually. And so all their books were half off, so $1. And this is a really fun one. It's got just these thick pop-ups, which is nice because he is at a stage where if it is a thin board book with pop-ups, it might not do too well. But anyways, these are super fun. So that is his book. And then for clothing, let's see, what did I get him? I got him a little pair of Cat and Jack shorts, a nice collared button-down shirt, and these clothing items I all got at a different thrift store on Black Friday, and they were having a crazy deal. This thrift store normally has kids clothing $2 each, but they had a deal of kids clothing 2 for $1. So 50 cents for each of these clothing items. I think I got him, for him I actually got him 2 outfits. So I got him that, and then I got these little shorts and this little shirt. Oh, it was super cute. So for my 1-year-old, I spent $3 on his Christmas gifts this year. Next, we're moving on to my 3-year-old, and I will say, I'm gonna interject before you guys watching are thinking, oh my gosh, that's hardly anything. First of all, my kids do have relatives that send them gifts. They get gifts from both sets of grandparents, and usually a handful of aunts and uncles send them some small stuff as well. So they get plenty of things. And in fact, usually I try to spread out some of the gifts that we get from relatives because I just don't like them opening a ton of stuff at once. I kind of explained my reasons for that earlier. But anyways, and we do stockings, which I'll tell you what we do for stockings after I show all these things. So my 3-year-old daughter, her main gift is something that I bought last year at Christmas time. Actually, it wasn't even Christmas time. It was a couple months before because it was some crazy deal. I want to say it was at least 50% off, meaning I think it was less than $10 for sure. I want to say it was 8, but something like that. It was like 50 or 60% off. And I got it last year. I think it would be for one of my sons. But shortly before Christmas, I realized that I don't need to give them anything more. We have plenty. Actually, there was a couple sets, and so some of the other ones I ended up giving for Christmas birthday presents later on in the year. So that is also an idea for you, that if you have a lot of stuff you've already gotten and realize that you don't need to give your kids that much, and maybe that they shouldn't get that much, that is something you can do. You can save stuff back in a closet or an attic somewhere and either save it for a birthday gift or for next year's Christmas. It'll save money, it'll help your kids from the overwhelm of so much gifts. But anyway, so this, I did, even though I didn't buy it this year, I did buy it last year, so I'm gonna count that as about $8 for this. And I think it'll be really fun because she loves Duplos and plays with Lego Duplos the most, but she has started playing more with the little Legos more with her brothers. And so I think it'll be fun for her to have her own little set. So that's her main gift. And the book I got her from the thrift store, which was also, I took the tag off. I think this one was also $1 as well. And it's just, I'm a Little Dog. It's this old looking board book with these big pages and fun little pictures. So I think she'll really like this book. And honestly, I think with books, I think I like just getting one book. I think it's also one of those things that, I mean, if you get them a set, that can obviously be fun where it's like a series or whatnot, but I just more and more like giving them fewer things, and I don't want them to feel entitled to gain a lot of things. If they say afterwards, oh, only one book, then that tells me that I've got problems to work on with entitlement and selfishness. So here's her book. And then I also got her kind of a little more clothing than my older boys, but she doesn't have as much clothes because she's my only daughter. And so she kind of like needs more things than the other ones do. The other ones have enough clothes. They mostly don't need anything because I thrift shop all the time. So anyways, but I got her this dress that she's gonna absolutely love. It's like, what is it, tulle or something on the bottom, and it's all frilly. And I'm not into like Disney princesses at all. Not into princesses, not into mermaids. I'm not a girly girl. Like, I don't wear makeup. I don't have any hair products. I haven't done my nails in 10 years. I'm just not a girly girl. But I will say a little dress like this is super cute. And so I think she's gonna really love wearing that. I got her that, and I got this little outfit of these little cute cotton shorts and this little t-shirt. And then I also got her a little jammy, well, not footies because it doesn't have the feet, but footless footies. So it's super soft too, really good condition. So for her total was $8, $9, $10, $11 for her Christmas gift. Now I did spend a little more on my older boys, just because their main gifts were a little more, which is kind of like natural for me. I don't need to spend a lot of money on my little ones. And honestly, for me, it's not so much about the money. I mean, I don't like to spend a lot of money. I don't think it's necessary. But for me, it's more important to not get them a lot of things than it is to not spend a lot of money. For example, like if there's something big that they're needing, like say they've outgrown their bike and they're, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, where you want to get them a good bike. If you have the money, I don't see any problem with spending $100, $200, $300. That's probably more than the bike needs to be. You can always find used. But for my oldest son, for his birthday 2 years ago, we got him a nice bike, and we found it used for $100. It was regularly like a $300 bike. And that's more than we normally spend on birthdays. But for me, it's more a matter of the amount of things. So anyways, moving on to my 5-year-old son. So for my 3 oldest sons, the main gift is actually the same for each of them. We got them each a baseball glove, which I'm really excited about. They've started getting more into just playing sports in the yard. We don't do any organized sports for them. I don't intend to do any organized sports for several years still. Lots of reasons for that, but that could be a whole other video. But anyways, my husband played baseball in high school as well as college, and so he's pretty excited to start doing more. We have a baseball bat and a tee and some wiffle balls, and they like doing that, but for actually having them start playing catch and stuff will be exciting. So I'm pretty sure this is the one for my 5-year-old. I didn't know if my husband wanted it. I'm gonna take it out. I don't think he cares. This was my husband's, like, his purchase. Normally I pretty much do all the gifting, but this year this was his idea. I really wanted to do it, and so he found them and everything. So this one is just a cheap one. It's not like a full leather glove. I think he said, I'll have to double check, but I think it was less than 20. And so this will be fun. And for each of them, we also gonna give them a baseball. My husband has a lot of baseballs. He has like a box of baseballs in the garage from when he was a kid. And so we're gonna choose one for each of them. I don't know if we'll maybe like in Sharpie write their name on them or what, but so this will glove with baseball. His book is this cute little A Day on the Farm. I love these old golden books, little golden books. Just the pictures are so sweet and simple. I will say with the books, I do usually like when I find better ones for the Christmas gift, like a really special book. And so it's possible, if I do go thrift shopping again and find more books, I'll probably just replace them and still do one. But like, for example, in years past, I found an Usborne Lift the Flap, really good condition book, and like that kind of more special book. But anyways, this is his book. If I don't find anything else, this will be fine and he'll like it. And then his clothing. All right, for him, I got one pair of shorts, just some nice khaki. I love the khaki shorts that have the comfy hip, but also the drawstrings. And these match with both the shirts. 2 shirts for him. One is just this cute little, what was that, color block shirt. And this one. So for him, well, I'll have to double check on the glove, like I said, but 1, 2, 3, probably like $20 for his total gift. Maybe 25 if the glove is more than I'm thinking it was. Then for my next son, my 7-year-old, like I said, baseball glove. I'm not actually sure if this one's for him or my oldest. I don't know. You take it out. But these 2 came in the mail, and there should be one more small package with the other one coming this week. This looks like it's probably for my 7-year-old. And so these ones we got for my older 2 are good leather gloves that will last a lot better. And so I do think this one was either $30 or $35. And then his book is this Who Would Win. My kids love these ones. I need to double check because I'm almost certain we don't have this, but it's possible we did, and that would be a little sad if it's one book he already has, but I don't think we do. Anyway, so these books, like I said, my kids love them. You learn a lot about the different animals, and we've been collecting them. And then for his outfit, let's see, I got him a pair of khaki shorts. I think they're probably Cat and Jack. Yeah, Cat and Jack khaki shorts. A nice, really good condition Billabong t-shirt that's just like so soft, looks like it's never been worn. And I love the color too. It's a pretty color. Anyways, and then I got him a pair of basketball shorts. So for my 7-year-old, that brings it to something like probably like $35 for his total gift. And then for my oldest, my almost 9-year-old, yeah, so like I said, his is the glove that's not here yet, but he got a baseball glove and a ball, so each one of them will have the glove and the ball. And then his book is this Adventures of Old Man Coyote. We love these books, the Thornton Burgess adventure of books. There's so many of them. I think there's like 24, and we probably have like 10 now. So this will be fun. He will probably read this all on Christmas Day. I would imagine he loves books. He goes through them so fast. So this book, and then his outfit is these nice little kind of cargo shorts and a t-shirt and a nice flannel. Don't have it buttoned up, but he actually does not have very much for long sleeve sweaters and that kind of stuff, so I think this will be a nice one for him. Anyway, so his gift, about the same as my last son, probably something around $35, and I feel so good about that. And then, oh yeah, I was gonna tell you the stockings. So we have that, and what I will put in their stockings is gonna be some treats and some snacks, little goodies like that, and I probably will just do 2 to 3 small non-food items. One of the things I do want to do is a book light for, I think, my oldest 4. I haven't bought them yet, but I'm hoping to find just some like really cheap little battery run book lights that I'm thinking I could probably get for hopefully like $7 to $8 each, maybe cheaper if they're on sale. And then I'll probably get a pack of Hot Wheels and just put like a Hot Wheel or 2 in each of them, and maybe a couple pencils or colored pencils or something like that. Anyways, that is what I'm doing for Christmas giving. Feel free to let me know in the comments how you do gift giving in your home. And that's going to be all for now. I'll see you next time.